Hello there. If you've watched any Star Wars content, I'm sure you've seen these characters around somewhere. This is Aurebesh. It's not a spoken Star Wars language like Huttese or Mandoa, but is the writing system for Galactic Standard Basic, which most of your favorite Star Wars characters speak. I'm gonna assume that if you watch this video, you're wondering if they actually mean anything. Well, yes, most of the time they do, and knowing Aurebesh can add a whole nother level to your Star Wars experience. The name Aurebesh comes from a combination of the first two letters in the alphabet, Auric and Besh, making Aurebesh, similar to how the word alphabet comes from alpha and beta, A and B. The 34-letter system began to develop more and more as more Star Wars media came out throughout the years. Even though 34 sounds like a lot, being able to quickly read Aurebesh is actually kind of easy. So all of the Aurebesh characters have names. These are Auric, Besh, Kresh, Dorn, Forn, Gref, Herc, Is, Gent, Krill, Leth, Mern, Nern, Osk, Peth, Kek, Resh, Sent, Trill, Us, Zev, Wesk, Zesh, Yurt, and Zarek. But don't worry about these names because you don't need them to be able to read Aurebesh. The last 8 letters are double letters, which you could learn, but they aren't really going to be too important right now as they're not really used too often in actual Star Wars. Then there's numbers. I'm sure if you've seen this while watching Star Wars, you already knew like what number it was because they're so similar to the way we write numbers. The only thing different is that they're missing like a line or two in some places. And there's Aurebesh punctuation, which is also pretty unnecessary at the moment. Okay, that leaves us down to 26 Aurebesh characters, which you can have associations for to quickly get them down. F just looks like a sideways F with an extra curved line. G is a sideways G. H is a sideways H. I is very similar to a regular I with just an extra line. It kind of looks like a 1, and I is the Roman numeral for 1, so that one should be sort of unmistakable. And you know that K and C both make a K sound, and the character for K is just like a sideways C. L is a backwards L with a diagonal bottom line. N is, yeah, a backwards N. There's a whole lot of similarities here. Q is just like your regular old Q, but missing its little tail. R is lowercase r, but backwards. D and F are similar characters, but just have it stuck in your mind that R has no line and D has a line. T is an upside down T. U is similar to the regular U, but with an extra leg or two. V is a Y, and Y is a V. V and Y, remember, they're like opposite of each other. With these hopefully easy associations, you now have most of the Aurebesh alphabet down, and can probably make out some words by identifying the characters you know and just filling in the ones you don't. Let's take a look at the ones I have much weaker associations for. So here are A, B, and C. I found these easier to remember as they're the first 3 letters in Aurebesh and just seemed more important to me. But the lines in A go away from each other, and B just kind of looks like the symbol on Mandalorian chest plates. I'm not sure what to tell you with C. E looks like the Roman numeral VI, and in my mind when I see VI, I would just think of the sound V, you know, E. M, P, S, and Z are some of the last ones I got down, but once you can use your easy associations to remember the other characters, you'll eventually get these. Plus Z is a super uncommon character, so you won't really have to worry about it. Then we have O, W, and X, which make up mixed up really easily because they're all simple closed shapes. X comes together and has a more defined point at the top, kind of like half of an X. O has a wider top than the X because the O we know it doesn't have any points. And W is a wide box. Wide W. And that should be all the Aurebesh characters you need to know. My favorite way to practice is on a website called aurebesh.org. You can read, write, and translate Aurebesh on this website. The best mode for beginning Aurebesh is definitely the read mode. It gives you a word in Aurebesh and you can identify the characters you know, and then you type in that word and see if you're correct. There are a few different category options for what type of word you want, including first steps if you just want to get those characters down. Before I started learning Aurebesh online, I started by writing down every Aurebesh character on a piece of paper, Auric through Zarek, then writing out my name, favorite characters, etc. If you don't like the online thing and my very random methods of helping you learn were confusing, then definitely do this. It's nice and simple. I found it so cool to be able to write Aurebesh and not only read it. But you can discover some amazing things when you're able to recognize Aurebesh. Kik says the phrase, "A good droid is a dead one," on his head, and you can read those Star Tours destination maps when they're not in English yet. I went to Hollywood Studios last spring and I was practicing my Aurebesh before I went to Galaxy's Edge in the line for Tower of Terror on Aurebesh.com, and it was awesome because I could read some pretty cool things. And I'm so glad I did because it just added to the whole Galaxy's Edge experience because I was able to identify words around Black Spire outposts that I might not have been able to, like the sign that read milk stand, this arch outside of Doc Ondar's Antiquities, and maybe obvious, but the fact that this Coke grenade has original taste still written at the top, as a Coke bottle should. I'm gonna say that I think reading and writing Aurebesh is a skill that every true Star Wars fan should have. I find it so awesome, and I hope you do too after this video. Leave me a comment if you know Aurebesh or decided to practice it after this video, because I've been slacking for a while until I thought of this video, but I'm gonna go practice my Aurebesh right now. So thanks for watching, may the force be with you, and go practice your Aurebesh.